Welcome back. So this week was a bit of a crazy week. Got through a lot of stuff in the background, but we don't really see the progress on the car. So I'm going to take you through that and some other stuff I found. Alright, so as you can see, there is nothing happening on the car, but we have a bottle holding the bumper up, and we have this very strange contraption in the front here. So why have I built this little box that looks like a triangle in a kid's playpen? It is so that I can get the dimensions of that area and kind of mock up what we need to do with the radiator. So what you see here is that mock-up, and it is pretty much how our radiator setup is going to sit. So it's very, very different to the conventional setup. And obviously we have our brace out, but ultimately these red pieces are going to be, there's one on either side, those are going to be where our radiators are. And the green triangle on top, there's also one on the bottom, that is going to be a boxing of the radiators. So in one of the previous episodes I mentioned that this kidney, which when you're in the car, the left hand kidney is going to be feeding the intake for the throttle bodies. That one is going to feed the oil cooler, and this bottom grill is pretty much going to feed, let's just see, that grill is going to feed the radiator, and that's why I've boxed it the way I have. These grills are going to feed the brake ducts. We're going to 3D print ducts for those on the back so that the 63 line can go to the brake caliper, but as you see, this whole box section, that's how it's going to be in the car. So we're going to do it with aluminium, and we're going to have to box it off as you see it here. But ultimately what it'll do is it'll create a high pressure area there and blow the air through the radiators and cool the area. Now ideally, yes, you'd want to blow it up through the bonnet and do all sorts of cool stuff with aero, but we're not doing that because we're going for the stock E36 super touring look, which I am in love with. So that's what we're doing. Now, I've done a bunch of research on this. It's fine to dump the air into the engine bay because that's what the standard cars do anyways. If you want to see some more of this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Just click on the subscribe button, hit the bell, and you're good to go. Alright, so as you saw, based on that little triangle that I made out of cardboard, we need to start figuring out how that placement is going to go. So I don't have a radiator just yet that we're going to use, but I know which radiator we are going to use. I also know the dimensions of it and how we're going to make it work. In the meantime, what I've done is I've modeled up this thing. So what is this thing? In the standard car, we have a radiator brace, well, a chassis leg brace that bolts onto the chassis legs on either side of the car. And if you look at the front of the car, this goes on the one chassis leg side on the right, and this one goes on the chassis leg side on the left. If you're looking at the car, not if you're in the car. And this is more of a support on the standard car, and then there are some things that bolt to it, etc., etc. So this is made out of stamped steel, and it's actually quite heavy. So I'm doing away with this, but we still need some sort of brace, and that's why I have modeled this thing up. This will kind of go in the car, bolt to those same chassis leg positions. Here is a closer picture of where the chassis leg is. This span on the original car kind of goes in front of it. That's where ultimately my design will pick up on these bolts on either side, and that's what you're looking at here. So if you sit in the car, if you're sitting in the car, this is what you're looking at. And then if I look at the front view, this is what it's going to look at. Why is this relevant? Well, we're getting rid of that steel stamped plate, this one, because of weight. but also because of access. And the reason for that is this is how our radiators are going to sit. Now if you remember, like I showed you earlier, we have this little box, this triangle box that I made, that is kind of going to take the space of where the radiators are, and that's what I've modeled here. So if you're looking at the car from the front and the top, this is what you're kind of going to see. Now the radiators have to be at a certain height so that they can fit within the center grille on the bumper, and that grille that's going to feed ultimately the radiators, and that is this section here. Ultimately I'm trying to model that up, and reason being is that we can then laser cut these aluminium plates so that they fit nicely. Now what I've done is I've made them adjustable, so you'll see these little slots here, and ultimately this bracket can move up and down. This bracket on either side, let's say the bracket that's highlighted now, I might have to adjust it to make it adjustable from left to right, so that this bracket could potentially move this way, backwards and forwards. And the reason for that is to be able to get the positioning of the bolt hole and the support on either side, because we're going to have to support the radiator in some way at the front. Around this area is where the bolt for the front pulley is. That's the front of the dry sump pulley. So, and then the belt will go off in this direction. Alright, so obviously we need some clearance here, and then the anti-roll bar pickups, sway bars, are somewhere around here. So what I will then do is make a brace from that'll kind of suspend between left and right of the anti-roll bar, let's call that sway bar, and then that will support either end on the front side. So then you'll have it supported on the front and then the rear by the crank pulley, and that means that that solves that problem. But the reason I'm doing it like this is so that we can have a very nice finished product. So there's still a bit of work that I need to put into this. So in the meantime, what I have done as well is I have obviously taken this picture, but we need to get started on the rest of the brackets for the dry sump system. So what I did is I took a picture quite simply and then measured the diameter of the roll cage, drew up this little brace, this little bracket, and you can see how it kind of interfaces here, and so drew this up, and there we go. So this is going to be the mounting bracket for the dry sump tank, and you can see the tank lying there, but ultimately it will mount to the roll cage like so, with these holes that I'm highlighting now. So these holes that are highlighted in blue are going to be the mounting holes onto the cage, and we're going to use rib nuts, and that will sit on the inside. And then the 4 additional holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be the mounting holes for the tank. So this won't sit on the outside by the door, it will sit on the inside of the car, and then the tank that's lying on the bottom there will mount using its mounts to this. This I have sent and put into fabrication, or cutting rather, and this is going to be aluminium, so this is in for cutting. What has also happened in the background is I have received the sump back after a few changes and detailed design changes and that. So we are looking really good on this sump. We made quite a few changes, like I say, and I'm very happy with it. So let me just get the right view for you. So this is the front profile of the sump. If you look at it from the side, if I can maybe just get a nice view. So that's how it sits in the car. If you look at it here from the side, we haven't cut the holes for the sieves, but we've left that to the fabricator. That is ultimately the design we've gone for. Now this will be obviously the prototype, and this will be on my car. We will test it, but yeah, we've got to get through the basics of making this thing work. My engine has bits over here, the block is over there, but the cylinder head I've taken it away. So, and I'm going to tell you in the next episode what happened there. I found a problem, and luckily we did, because it would have failed on us. So I'll take you through that problem and why we have that. But that's going to be it for this episode. It's a bit of a weird episode, and yeah, it's just short because we are doing everything. I'm doing everything in the background, so doing some designing, planning. I had to sort out that issue with the cylinder head, which I'll tell you about in the next episode, but that's going to delay the whole thing by a bit. So in the meantime, I have to finish a lot of the other stuff that I'm busy with. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.